Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my video again. You are watching the podcast, and I am back with another review of Loki. So I just got done watching Loki episode 4, and it has been an interesting ride. It has been a very interesting ride so far. Yeah, so let's talk about it. So let's talk about what happened, but I don't know if I can give you a lot of details this time because this episode is just so spoiler heavy. There's a lot of things going on in this episode, and it's like I don't know what I can say without just giving away spoilers. So I think I just need to give you some spoilers. So if you haven't watched the show, watch it and then come back and watch this review. So the show kicks off with Lady Loki. She is in Asgard and she is a child, and she basically gets kidnapped by the TVA authority, and she's taken to the TVA headquarters. And before her pruning thing can happen, she runs away with the tempad of Ravonna Renslayer, the judge of the TVA headquarters. She runs away with it, and that's how she's brought up. She runs from one timeline to another, and she's trying to escape the TVA authorities at the same time. And yeah, that's how she grows up, and that's why she heads the TVA. That's why she wants just take over TVA and find out who the timekeepers are. That's where her motive lies. Now we are thrown back into the events of the planet, not the planet, the moon, the Lamentis 1. And here we see Loki and Lady Loki, our Sylvia. We see them sitting down and having a conversation, and obviously it's doomsday event happening all around them. It still kind of bothers me that nothing is hitting them. All these meteors and everything is flying past them, but nothing is hitting them. That bothers me. Anyway, they are having a conversation, and this meteor just crashed. This asteroid basically just crashed, and the ground is just erupting, and the wave is coming towards them, and they are about to get annihilated. And they kind of develop something between them, which I expected. Loki and Sylvia touch each other, and this new reality forms, right? Their touch is like, I don't know, like it's like so powerful that it spikes up in the TVA headquarters, and that's how the TVA finds them, and they are taken back. They are held as hostage. Loki finds himself in this punishment area basically, and that's a separate thing. And basically Loki tells Mobius that they are all variants, and Mobius doesn't want to believe, but then things happen. They do some investigation. Mobius and also the female black character, the other soldier, I forgot the number. They actually kind of believe Loki and Lady Loki, which is weird. People keep believing them all the time, even though they are Lokis. And yeah, that's I mean, things happen. I don't want to get into too much of it. And they are finally brought to the timekeepers. Timekeepers are shown. They are introduced as this goofy alien characters, some weird things going on in their face. Like, they're very goofy looking people, and they talk in a deep robotic voice. And obviously the female black character comes in the scene, and she helps Loki and Lady Loki get rid of all the soldiers, and they are engaged in a duel, and they fight. They win the fight. At the end, the Lady Loki throws her spear. Was it spear? I don't know. She throws it at the timekeepers and chops up their head. She beheads the timekeepers, and as the head falls down, the other two timekeepers starts to laugh, and Lady Loki finds out that the timekeepers actually are just androids. They are not real beings, deities or whatever, and they are probably is controlled by someone else. That's one thing that happens. And as they are looking at this severed head, Ravonna Renslayer gets up. She was beaten down by Lady Loki. She gets up and prunes Loki, and Loki just seemingly dies, because pruning is supposed to be death, right? And same thing happens to Mobius, because Mobius found out about the real thing about what's going on. So that's the plot that happened here. Like I said, there's a lot of surprises going on, a lot of things going on, and yeah, it was very interesting. I really enjoyed it. I think this was the best episode of the four, and it was great. It was thrilling. I was waiting for surprises, and they did come at regular intervals. The main point of the show is still pretty simple. I think the main point of the show is that there's some bigger, higher power controlling everything, and they have some purpose, and they are kidnapping all these Loki variants and pruning them just so that they can't become an obstacle in the course of the mission that this higher power is pursuing. Okay, are you guys following me? That's what's going on. It's a pretty simple plot when you think about it. When you strip it off all the Marvel glam and Loki and all that, if you strip everything out of it, it's a pretty simple story. Like someone, like the government is doing something bad and someone gets hold of it. Some underdog gets hold of it and wants to overthrow the government. That's what's going on. And when he goes to overthrow the government, turns out there's something other going on, more sinister going on, and the government is not really the government. Someone else is controlling them. Okay, it's like, you think this is the big person and this guy is controlling this guy, and this guy is the pawn, but then you realize that this guy is also the pawn and someone else is controlling this guy, and this guy is also the pawn and someone else is controlling. Like it's like a pyramid scheme that's going on here. Okay, it was interesting, and what I didn't tell you guys yet is the end credit scene, and I think that's the most interesting scene of the whole show or of the whole episode. Loki is not dead. Obviously, I mean, no one expected him to be dead. He wakes up in this apocalyptic New York City, with hazy skies, and it's probably in future. It's probably somewhere in future, right? And he wakes up and he's like, "Am I in hell? Like what's going on?" And he looks up and there's this guy standing in front of him. This big black dude, this kid, this weird older guy, and they are all Lokis. Okay, so Loki is sent to a place where all the Lokis are sent to. All the Lokis that they have pruned previously, for whatever reason, whatever sinister plan they have all gone to the same place. And Loki is also there now, so they are like, okay, so you have to come with us or you will be dead, and something is going to happen in the next episode. Okay, so things that I didn't like about this episode. I did not like the fact that the timekeepers are just a throwaway. Like the timekeepers are actually big characters in the Marvel comics, but here they are treated as nothing. Like, oh, these guys were supposed to be the big bad guys, like the gods, but they are just robots. Like they're nothing. They're just robots being controlled by someone else. And who is this someone else? We don't know yet. Obviously, there are theories of He Who Remains and Kang, and I don't want to go into too much detail about it. I think I'll just make one separate episode where I talk about all this. I don't want to make this too long. But yeah, that's it. And how do I feel about the show? I think it's really good. I think, yeah, I will echo everything that I said previously. I thought it's well paced, it's well balanced. The character of Mobius has grown on me. The character of Sylvia has grown on me, which I didn't like at first. And in fact, Mobius getting pruned is kind of emotional, even though you know that he's going to be alive. When Wilson is casted for 5 episodes out of 6, and he has already not been in the last episode, right? So he has to be in the next 2 episodes. He's not gonna die. So yeah, I like Mobius now. I like Sylvia a bit more, even though it bothers me that all the Lokis that are being introduced here kind of depletes the value of the real Loki. I want to make a separate video where I talk about all my theories and how I really feel about it. But right now, let's just stick to this episode. I also didn't like how the action scenes are shot. It's like there's not much glam to it. It's like, okay, it's passable. Obviously the stuntmans are doing it, and there's a lot of like jerky camera and quick cuts so that the stuntman can just come in between, do the fight and get out, without us noticing it. And it's not very impressive. The fights are not very impressive. It's okay. It's okay at best. It's very average, below average. I think this is not a fight heavy show. I think if this was like Captain America or something, I think they would put more focus on the fights, the hand-to-hand fights. It's fine. And even the fight in the that chamber where the timekeepers are, that fight, I did not really like it. I thought it was just kind of a filler. And everybody's carrying those wands, right? So why are they not pruning it? Why are they fighting? Like, if I had one of those, I will just try to prune it. I won't try to fight it. I won't try to fight them. Like, it just takes one touch and the person just evaporates, right? So why are they like fighting with those sticks? Just do it. So anyway, so yeah, that's the episode, guys. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next episode. And I will make another video of just me talking about my theories and just how I feel about all this. Who is going to be the villain? How I feel about the TVA, and how I feel about the Loki verse. I didn't say much about the Loki verse because I'm holding it back for my next video. And I will talk about the Loki verse, not Loki verse, the world of Loki, basically, where everyone is Loki. How I feel about that. I'll talk about all that in my next video. So if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're new here, and just share the video. Comment if you how you feel about it. If you watched the episode yet, if you haven't, watch it. So yeah, take care, guys. That's it from me today. Peace.